Your main man coming at you at the end of the solstice season. Happy Saturnalia to all in the barbarian horde, joined by the Christmas gremlin here. Your main man returns. We're going to be doing a little video today recounting the 2021 Christmas season, kind of going over a little almost time capsule here, just showing off what my son got, because we're a lot of role-playing game stuff, and I thought that might be interesting for you guys. Also showing some stuff that we did pick up off drive-through-rpg.com, where you can get your Within the Ring of Fire books right now. And if you hit your main man special to the end of January, until February 1st, $40. You get all the PDFs, all 5 PDFs to you. Just shoot it over to me on PayPal, at eBay, just like eBay, and WWAD, just like the last 4 letters of this account, eBay, WWAD at yahoo.com. Shoot that over, $40. Get all the PDFs, all 5 of them, for Within the Ring of Fire, the deep, immersive, dark fantasy game that your mind has always needed, and that's certainly something you're going to want to put under your late Christmas tree for all those presents you didn't get, all those things you didn't want to nurture the nectar of your very soul and the creativity of the RPG imagination. Learn the secrets of the deep, immersive role-playing style in the greatest fantasy game ever made. And that's going to be something you're going to want to get, only $40. eBay, WWAD at yahoo.com. Just send it over to your main man. Just put down the email address you want them shipped to, and just key it up Within the Ring of Fire, and you'll get those lickety-split. Woo, my God. And now, let's get to the main event. You want to start bringing this stuff over? Showing them what you got? Why don't we start? Did you get that one the one that Scott got you? Grab those. We're having a little technical malfunction off screen here. Hey, you want to start showing them the stuff?
Yep. So I got.
Now, this actually wasn't from me. This was from my nephew, my nephew's my age, and he plays in our Saturday role playing game that I run, and he got this for Ryan. So show it to him. Get it up there so they can really see it. There you go.
So yeah, I thought this was pretty neat. You can record different characters that you've had and different details about those characters in here. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
And what is it, like 10 different characters?
Yeah.
So it's basically like really detailed, in-depth character sheets for like 10 different characters. So you can sort of have a journal. We all get those characters that we played for a long period of time. Like 10 years later, like, wow, I really want to revive that character. But you don't have that character sheet. That character sheet has long since demetabolized from the RPG memory of yourself. I mean, I know you're going to be out there, I got a binder from 1963. God damn it, I don't give a bullshit. But typically, those things do evanesce from the mind and the collection, and being able to have something like that, robust volume, very nice. I thought it was a very nice present from his cousin, my nephew, to him. Start showing him the stuff. This is a bunch of stuff. It was a big RPG Christmas. My son loves the RPG books, the RPG games. So just start showing him what we got, and I'll kind of go over where this stuff is. So I got this one from a local comic book shop. This is, of course, an AD&D 2nd edition, Ravenloft, Isles of Terror. This is still like in the cellophane here, and that one was actually really good. I got that 25% off whatever the normal cover price was, and it's like brand new. Like, give a shout out to Atomic Comics. My man Scott over to hook me up with a lot of stuff. Start grabbing things and show them what we got, and I'll just sort of go through it, give a little catalog. What we got here? So there is Thoughts of Darkness, another Ravenloft module. What would you say about Ravenloft?
I think Ravenloft's probably my favorite D&D setting. Although I've only played in it once, but yeah, I really enjoy playing in it.
Yeah, that's.
I think it's really interesting. So yeah.
And that's something trying to really encourage his creativity, and it's always great when you get a kid to really, really read. And we have as you can obviously know, a very large RPG collection, which we're continuing to supplement. And he has his own, at this point, very large RPG collection, as do I. So we have 2 of those coexisting at the same time. There's a lot of books here, so a lot of great reference for him, and all of our friends that come over and play. We have a pretty big gaming group. I run a game, and then he and I play together in another game that one of my players runs. So, as you guys know, you've seen Frank on the channel before. So, show him the next thing. Just gonna kind of steady these things. There you go. So what's this? You gonna tell them real quick?
Yeah, it's the Demi-Human Deities book. So it's like books on the gods of the elves and hobbits and stuff like that.
Yeah, and what settings it for?
Forgotten Realms.
What do you think about Forgotten Realms?
Forgotten Realms is pretty cool. I like it.
And you played that?
Yeah, I played that like twice.
You played my game and you played Frank's game. So both Frank and I both run Forgotten Realms.
Mm-hmm.
So this book, I got it down at the same place, Atomic Comics. I got this one for cover price. The cover price is $24.95, but even on there they had a sticker on it for $35. This book's like new condition. It might in fact even be brand new. I'm not sure. As you can see, he hasn't opened it up yet. But I got the guy. I've done business with them for a really long time, so I got some pretty good deals. You want to show them the next thing?
Forgotten Realms, the Moonsea.
What's the Moonsea? What's the Moonsea?
It's like an ocean. I'm not really actually that sure about.
Well, it's a realm. It's an area of the realms, right?
Yeah.
Like what's up there?
I don't know. Isn't that like really evil country there?
Zone Keep.
Yeah.
I like city states, but they got this one. That's another one. They had that there for $30. He gave it to me for cover price, $12.95. So, you know. My son is a martial artist. He holds a black belt in one discipline and a red belt in a different discipline. So it's a new jump rope for him, just to help with his cardiovascular conditioning and agility. How long have you been doing martial arts? 7, 8 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So he's serious. He's 14. I've seen him knock grown men out. So yeah. Show him the next thing. Right here. What's this?
Ravenloft book. It's like the.
Yeah, this is a core rule book. This one. Let me see where this one comes from. I think I got this one off eBay. I think it came off eBay. So this is the Sword and Sorcery third. I think this is just third edition. And I think this is yes. Yeah, this looks like the original. So some of these came off elsewhere. I thought it might be a little interesting to sort of kind of explain where we got these things and kind of what we did. I don't remember what we paid for that one. I think we're over cover price on that. I think that one came off eBay. I tend to kind of buy from Christmas till his birthday presents for him, and then from his birthday, which is September, to Christmas, his Christmas present. So some of these have been sitting there waiting to be used for longer than others. You get the next thing out. I thought it'd be a little fun to have a little Christmas video, so it's something we can look back on years from now, and maybe some other people enjoy it. So, what you tell them what that is?
It's a complete Paladin's handbook.
Yeah.
Okay. That's like information on the Paladins and different kits and stuff, and different information and role-playing tips.
And why is this particularly interesting to you at the moment?
Because I'm playing a Paladin of Lathander.
My son's playing a Paladin of Lathander. Really, his first really heroic character. I guess he's one that was slightly heroic before, but he tends to play darker, I don't want to say villainous, but definitely in the darker aspects of characters. And he's playing, and he's done a great job with it. Like we played last night, Christmas Eve, like after everything was done, whenever we went to my buddy's house and we played, not the game I run, but a different game. And I guess that was like our third session. And my character's like a thief, and I had broken into the jail because we had to go bust someone else out of jail for our deal, and basically it was out of the frying pan into the fire for this guy, and I busted in there with the help of one of the other characters, and we ended up getting the guy, and I found some other loot in there. I was explaining to the party, I was like, well, I got this, so whoever wants a cut of it, I'll share with them. And his character's like, no, thanks. I said, you give it to your church if you want. He's like, no. Yeah. So I thought it's pretty good. And my son is like a virtuoso role player. He is, for a 14-year-old, really good. Like, if there were like national tournaments for role playing for kids in age groups, I'd put him in there. He's really a fantastic role player.
Yeah. And it was while that was happening in that scene, I was going through my character's thoughts, and he was like kind of weighing like the good that he could do with the money versus where the money came from. I mean, he knew it was stolen. So, yeah. And he overall decided, like, it's wrong to take stolen money.
And that's really the way, I try to teach people to play. Like, play in here, not here, and definitely not out here. We hate the battle maps, we hate the miniatures, all that kind of stuff that really de-immersifies your experience. Yeah. Can you get the next book? You got the, and these, not to be confused with the Mongoose Press 3rd and 3.5 edition reprints that they tried to make look like this. These are the original Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition kit books. We do not have all of them at this point. I have a few. I bought myself the Thief's book, which is around there somewhere, and I got a lot of these for him. The Fighter's book. He actually took he's using the Myrmidon kit. He took it and kind of modified it a little bit. It actually modified really easily for a Paladin. He's using that kit for his Paladin. And you are, what level are you now?
I'm 3rd level.
3rd level.
Yeah,
so
it's turned 3rd level.
It's turned 3rd level, so that's pretty good. And we have a pretty good mix in our group. He's a Paladin. I'm a Thief Wizard. And half elf, half gold elf. One of the other characters also playing. She's playing a half gold elf as well. I don't know what class she is. I'm not sure. Then her husband is playing a full gold elf, and I think he's a blade singer. I'm not sure. He's definitely some type of wizard, and he appears to be able to fight, but we haven't seen him fight yet. But my guess is he's playing a blade singer. Then we have another character who's a hobbit. So we call halflings hobbits in our games because they're hobbits. They're just not. For anyone that doesn't know, and I'm sure most of you do, if you watch this channel, the Tolkien estate just sued Dungeons & Dragons, and they were originally called hobbits. They said halflings. Halfling sounds like to me a stupid name. It sounds like maybe a race, a racialistic insult or something. Mm-hmm. So we just call them hobbits. So my man Longier is playing. I don't think Longier should have been in the videos. I need to put players in a video at some point so you guys can actually kind of see who we're playing with. And Longier he's a tree folk. He's like 6'6", and he's a very good role player. He's playing basically like my passed off, almost like, I don't want to say adopted, but like taken in brother. He's I don't want to spill. I know what his class is, but I don't want to spill it to him. He's playing a hobbit. Then there is Christian. Christian's playing a human fighter, and he's coming with a hand axe, and he's really heavy armor, and he's plate mail, which is like, really high. He's a paladin, and he just started with studded leather. My character didn't have armor. He just whatever. Let's see. Was there another player? Am I missing somebody? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh yeah. And it was one of those situations. My man Frankie had a girlfriend, and she's played at the very beginning of the game, and then they broke up. So that character's gone. I was thinking she was also. She just gold elf madness. She's playing a gold elf too. I don't know why everybody jumped on a gold elf bandwagon. We don't make characters together. We make characters independently. So when these sort of things happen, it's like, but whatever. So, and generally with the caveat of if you establish the game, it's like, look, this is my gimmick, we don't want 8 people using a long sword. My character fights with daggers. I was like, protect my gimmick. Nobody needs to be coming at anybody with these daggers because that's my joint.
Yeah, I got a bastard sword.
Yeah, he's got a bastard sword. That's his gimmick. So, that's not all of the gimmick, but that's, Yeah. hand me the next one you want to show. Well, the Paladin book and the Fighter book both came off of eBay. They were in a lot of I got 5 of them together for a really good price. So those books have gotten kind of expensive. This is from Drive Through RPG. There's the books because he's gone through them and opened everything up this morning. So a lot of these books have gotten into a bit of they're disorganized. But this came off of Drive Through RPG. It looks, there's a couple of weird things like the way that looks. That looks weird, but it looks just looks like a normal book. They really do a good job with this stuff. Hopefully they expand their AD&D library, so that would be nice. But they have quite a few AD&D books in there. which, I mean, it's nice to be able to get a hold of that stuff, to be able to put new copies, more copies in circulation, because whatever initially was put in there, plenty of those have been lost, destroyed, badly damaged, or sitting up in somebody's attic to never be seen again. While they might still be okay now, they're going to molder and be destroyed before they're ever used again. So having some stuff like that can be put into circulation as a brand new book is really, really a great thing. That's something that came out probably, 30 years ago. So, an Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition book about Kalimport, that country, and that's sort of an area that we I think technically I've run a little bit in Kalimport before, but it's Sword Coast, and one of the areas I like to run, I have two kind of predominant areas in the realms I like to run. One is like Baldur's Gate area, not Waterdeep. I've never run a Waterdeep, or like the far north, but sort of a good bit north of Baldur's Gate to a good bit south of Baldur's Gate, like places like that, and then over in the Dale Lands, and then kind of everything in between there, like the Anarok Desert, the Serpent Hills, all those sorts of areas. I've run down into Cormyr, and Frank likes to run in Cormyr. I've run down into Symbia, of course, like Hillsfar, and a little bit into the Moon Seas, and I've run Thay. I've run a little bit in Mulhorandi. So it was an interesting pickup, I think, for our overall collection. What else you got? I used to see this kid. I mean, he's sitting here reading these books like all the time. His RPG knowledge gets incredibly. I mean, you really know a lot of stuff, don't you, Ryan?
Yeah.
In the Cage. This is again a reprint. This came from Drive-Thru RPG. This is a solid hardback book. I don't know. I'm not sure if this was a box set or exactly what this was originally. I'm sure someone can leave that in the comments below. But you can see. I mean, it looks. They really do a great job. I think initially, the very beginning of Drive-Thru RPG, some of the binding and stuff was a little questionable. I think they've really improved their whole deal. And this is a color book. Let's see, in there, it looks nice. I'm not even really sure exactly what it is. He was kind of interested in Planescape, so I wanted to pick him up some stuff because he's at 14. He's getting to the age where he's going to start. I want to give him like a lot of options, right? So we got Within the Ring of Fire, we got Forgotten Realms stuff, picking up some more Planescape stuff, more Ravenloft stuff, so that he has kind of options to kind of dig around, and so he can start kind of fitting all those things into his brain now that he's seen multiple game masters do the game a lot of justice and do it well, giving him a lot of tools to work with, and particularly, as COVID sort of goes away. He actually had, when he was in 6th grade, they had a Dungeons & Dragons club, which he was part of at school, but then COVID happened, so he only got to do that a few times, which was a great way for him to, meet other kids his own age that game, instead of just playing with, much, much older people. You want to get the next book?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you want to tell me what this is?
Yeah, it's the Ravenloft Player's Handbook.
Yeah, and this, I believe this also came off Drive-Thru RPG. I believe this one did. So this is the 3.5 core campaign setting. And I think this might have a little bit of redundancy with the other one I picked up for him. But like I said, I wanted to get those sort of things. I had won an auction for all 5 Gazetteers from some guy in Poland, and he just completely screwed me on the deal and canceled the auction because I guess it didn't go for enough. I mean, I was under $400 on them, which for the Gazetteers and what he said was great condition. And he listed it as, the books are damaged or some nonsense like that. Just nonsense because he didn't get the huge price tag I'm sure he wanted I think it was somewhere around $350 for all 5 books, which, well, that's a lot of money. I thought that'd be really good for him. To me, Monster Ecologies and Gazetteers are really the two main things to get story hooks, to get ideas. And that's kind of the way that, as an RPG writer, that's kind of the way that I really try to jam in there to get that stuff, to get story hook, because that's what really gets you thinking, whether you're looking at monsters or you're looking at locations. Those are things that can really springboard you to having a fantastic experience, that sort of epiphany moment where you can, you can really put some interesting stuff together. You need to grab another one to show them? But feel free to jump in here. Feel free to talk.
Yeah. Is a complete book of elves. There's a bunch of information on elves in there.
Yeah, this book is so unbalanced that the writer of it apparently did a YouTube video, which I haven't watched yet, but I have seen. I have seen the thumbnail for it. That
Really?
he did some Kickstarter. And he did an apology video if they hit a certain goal for Oops. Yeah, it's insanely overbalanced. There's of course everyone's favorite, the Blade Singer, the most broken kit in here. I think the Blade Bard is in the Bard's book. It's really one of the more broken ones too. But there's a lot of just insane. They made elves. They made elves which are already like the stay in AD&D elves are superheroes. They're so powerful. There's no one uses level limits, and almost no one ever prevents them from getting a raised dance spell put on me. They're like, wonderful. The only little bit of limitations your superhero has are, just get rid of those. They're elves. I should have everything. You want to hand me some more books? I mean, they get +1 to hit with 4 different weapons, and in AD&D, that is a big deal. And there's just a stack of other abilities. You get, I like half elves, so then you just get screwed. You're like, hey, you're complete garbage, and help you if you play a human. That's terrible. You want to tell them what this is?
Yeah, it's a complete Wizard's Handbook, which I think is pretty interesting considering the fact that I'm playing a wizard in your game.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to tell them what you're playing?
Yeah, I'm playing a Hobbit who's a true necromancer. So he's a cleric of or priest of Merkel, and he's also a necromancer. So yeah, he's a true necromancer.
Yeah. So you definitely taste my kid. That's definitely. Although I don't know where the Hobbit part comes from. I've never played a Hobbit, and when I die, I hope they say that at my funeral. But he likes them. We have players in our group that like different things, so that's always cool. But I really that's one of my favorite prestige classes, 3.5. The game I take a lot from AD&D Second Edition, and then I gut out. And there's some videos recently on the channel. You can go back and watch those, which will really kind of give you an explanation for how you can take a group that's new to Dungeons and Dragons. Some of the players aren't, but just gut out all the things that just are just agonizing and make players take forever. I want my game to roll fast. I want combat to fly by fast. I want it to be narrative. I want it to be descriptive. I want to give some collaborative authorship to the players and let them be more invested that way, as opposed to taking an enormous amount of time to just grind out. It's one of the most hideously boring things there is. Combat is just never in. You're like, I don't care, man. Can they just kill my character? Because I don't ever want to do this again. Oh, he's already ripped this one apart when I got this box. So I got a Lone Wolf dice. Why did I get these for you?
Oh, because I really like wolves and werewolves.
He is obsessed. And it's not a fad for him. It's since he found out what a werewolf was. I got him a Van Helsing toy that had like a werewolf skin when he was very young, like 3, and ever since then, werewolves have been his favorite thing. Oh, that's another one of his presents there, that Black Sabbath shirt. It's one of his Christmas presents from me. Yeah. My son loves the old heavy metal, and even new heavy metal. You show him the other one I got you. So this was one of the most overpriced. This was almost, after shipping, almost $20, but I knew he'd want it. I think it was 8 dice. I'm not sure, but anyway, it was cool. So whatever. And there's Ghost. He really likes Ghost as well. So he's got like those, and he's got a Judas Priest shirt. I mean, and he just rocks that stuff at school. And, you show him the die? Yeah, show him the die. Really get it up there. Just get it. Yeah, get it all up in there, Morty. All up in there, Morty. Come on. Yeah, you can see that. So there's, that's just one of them. You want to show them this book? It's not specifically a gaming book, but we love mythology. We love monsters. We love all that type of stuff. So this is something he one of the things he requested. He wanted a werewolf book, and he's got a ton of them. Like, how many werewolf books would you say you have?
I don't know. It's a lot.
There's a lot of them. For everything from like really kiddie type books to this. This is not like a child's book. This is kind of like an academic work, I guess. Or close enough to it as far as werewolves go. Keep this down. You're already rolling in your dust jacket. Oh, here's another one of his books. This I got off of Drive Thru RPG. You couldn't even tell, other than it's got that weird gimmick there. But yeah, this is just some stuff about the different Dark Lords, which I thought that would be kind of interesting and useful for him. Like I said, trying to really prepare him. to get his skills as a game master. This one came in it's maybe printed a little bit dark. I don't know if the originals are like that. So if they are, I guess that can't be. You know, kind of odd. They just have like some random prestige class thrown in the front of this book, but I don't know. Whatever. I think it has a lot about like all sorts of different Dark Lords. I see a Zalen and yeah, just a bunch of different ones. Is that oh, there's Count Stradenzaurich. What do you mean? All right, sir. Oh, you start reading that one? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, he's young this morning. He's already been tearing through these books. Mm-hmm. Mostly, I think you're reading your Werewolf book over.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with that stuff.
Yeah. Next, we got the complete Bard's Handbook.
You want to tell him the usefulness of that?
Well, in his next game, which I don't know which time that'll be till you're running that, but I'm going to be playing a Null Bard in that game. So, yeah.
I'm gonna have to reconsider this shirt. I look like a Tibetan monk. Yeah, he's gonna play. He wants to play a Null Bard, like a good Null Bard, and he's already done a deal with Langer. And Langer's playing like he's gonna play a Priest of Lathander in that game, and this is like he's almost gonna be like under Langer's wing. So it's going to be pretty neat. We try to get some interesting kind of interpersonal relationships there. It's a game I've been putting a lot of thought into, a lot of work into. The game I'm doing now, I was kind of talked into, and sort of hadn't run a game in quite some time. And my nephew, his cousin, was really talking about wanting to get back in, and he hadn't played D&D for like forever. So I was like, I kept like thinking about it, and like a no kind of slowly turned closer and closer to a yes, and then we put that together. But since then, I've actually been having time to really think about the next thing, and I think it's going to be, I think it should be really fantastic. I mean, the game we're running right now is fantastic. This is definitely one of the better games I've ever run. They have a great group, you know, it just works together, you know.
Really been enjoying it.
Yeah, they have a lot of, you know, they have drama, but I mean, they understand how to not 0 to 60, how to keep things, you know, keep things good. You want to show them next thing? Yeah. So, you know, that game's really been working well. I've really been enjoying running it. I think the highest character in the group is like 10th level now. We've been doing it for right about a year, I want to say. Yeah, show them that one. So this is kind of weird. Do you want to tell them what it is?
Yeah, it's a core book for Planescape.
In a way, it actually isn't. It's this insanely thick book. This is like college science textbook thick. I mean, this is enormous, you know. This is the Planescape box set. The whole Planescape box set, AD&D, in a book. That's how Drive Thru RPG put together. Again, you can see the weird tag there. But, you know, this is the book. Apparently, you know, all the initial artwork was done by the same guy. This little Morlock-looking dude. We watched this, The Art of D&D. It's Amazon Prime?
Yeah, I think so.
I got so many of those subscription services, I don't know. But we watched that. It was very interesting. It was very evocative. There's a lot of neat stuff. They had that guy that did all this artwork. They had Brahm, so they were talking about, you know, they did Dark Sun, basically all of Brahm's artwork from the beginning, you know, for the major pieces at least. And then they said, you know, we want to do something even more unified with just one artist with one vision. So they had him doing, I forget the guy's name, but maybe I should give him his proper due and find out. Let's just give that man a quick bit of credentials here. Well, this channel, your main man speaks. Box cover art by Rob Ruppel. I guess that's the dude. I don't know. So I'm not sure. Maybe he said because it's listing different artists here. That's what they said on the thing. Anyway, so you can see. I mean, I think that's really one of my favorite pieces of artwork. So I was really glad to get that, and he had been having he'd been talking about having some interest in Planescape.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, you know, I can get him this. So to kind of give him an idea, instead of sort of shoehorning him down like one path, like, well, check Forgotten Realms out or check Ravenloft out or whatever, just to give him Forgotten Realms, give him Ravenloft, give him Planescape, and another setting here. We'll show you in a minute. You want to start digging around, getting more books up here? We'll tell the people at home what this is.
The Complete Psionics Handbook.
So yeah, this is really interesting for AD&D. It's not like the other class books, because this is the entire class is here, and I think this is the first place it appears. I believe they have a book that expands upon this for Dark Sun, but I mean it even has monsters in here. Like, I don't believe any of the other red books, burgundy books, whatever you want to call these, had monsters. I think this is the only one. I might be wrong, but like they have the Shindu. Everyone's favorite, the Intellectual Devourer. You gotta love those things that devour that intellect and learn of you directly from your mind itself. So yeah, it's a very interesting book. Just to kind of have options, you know. If anyone wants to play a Psionicist, then we have that book now. Because I kind of had to rebuild my whole AD&D second edition collection. I'm gonna start digging the rest of these out. We're already over the half-hour mark, so just anyone stuck around, anyone that's enjoying this, hearing me sort of babble on with my spawn here. You want to tell them what you got here?
It's a book about the Yuan-Ti.
Well, show it to them. Put it over there. Yeah, you talk about it, but let them see it.
Mm-hmm. It's the Slayer's Guide to the Yuan-Ti, and which I think is pretty cool because I think the Yuan-Ti are pretty interesting.
Yeah, I have an NPC who's a Yuan-Ti pureblood in the game. There have been some Yuan-Ti that have been like villains as well in the game, but there's one that, you know, is just like, she's in the town. They are taking place at sort of northeast of Baldur's Gate. I think it's like a 4-day ride northeast of Baldur's Gate. And so that puts it progressively closer to the Serpent Hills where they have Yuan-Ti, and in that Serpent Hill area. So I have a character of pure blood Yuan-Ti, and she's a very fun character to play. Her name is L.E., and she speaks like this and does things like this with her serpent tongue. And she can be very literal, and she will talk in common very slowly, and sometimes she will repeat herself again. Did you hear what I just said? I'm going to say it again. So she's actually one of my more favorites to play. Not my absolute favorite, but definitely my top 10. I have a lot of NPCs. Keep me in the books coming. A lot of NPCs in the game. That game. They're just very entertaining. I try to put a lot of distinction in mannerisms and talk and things like that.
Yeah, I think my favorite of your NPCs was probably the Ozzy Osbourne one, Tall. I think his name was.
Yeah, man. You know, over here we're going to get down there. We're going to find this what we got here, man. You know, we got this in Borsky Bridge, you know, man. You know, fucking man, you talk like a ball, man. You know, I'm out here, man. Come on out here, man. You know, we're going to get what we have in here. So we had a wizard, and he, for his characters, we use theme songs for the characters, and he selected for his theme song Black Sabbath. As you can see, he likes Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath, the wizard. So I just thought it was kind of funny to let him see Black Sabbath, the wizard, and he marked out for it. He marked out hard for him. And the character's was not in the friends column. And he didn't actually get to, that character had a very small time on the stage, so
yeah,
he really liked it. Yeah, you know, man, I'm a very fucking powerful wizard, man. You know, we want to talk about the likes of Tom, man. You know, it's just like, you know, man. You know, what the fuck, you know. We got the Complete Sonics. This actually will give us because I have all the rest of them. So now he has one. So our combined collection. We have all of these books now. The red cover books, we don't have all of them. Like for these, we do have a few others, like of this type of books. Like we already had, like I own the Thieves, I own the Humanoids, and he already owns the Gnomes and Halflings. And I think we had one other book, didn't we? I think I'm missing one. Maybe we have one of those, but we don't have the Rangers. I think we have a Samurais. We have a Ninja. We don't have that. Don't have the Barbarians. Don't have the Dwarves, and I think that might be it. I think we might have all the rest of them. You want to start handing me next thing? We're just about done for those of you that are still tuned in with us here on your main man's Christmas Eve. We're Christmas Day special, late Christmas Day, the eve of Christmas Day, baby. Santa Claus back at the North Pole, if you will. These we also have the Dungeonscape of this and the Storm Wreck, whatever the sea one is. We do not have the desert one. You want to hand me the next one? These I got off eBay. Like, this is like practically brand new. I got these a long time back, like probably right after your birthday. So I'm not exactly sure what you paid for them, but these are definitely both over cover price. I think this one was over $40, and I think the other one was maybe over $50. I think this is a really, really good book, Cityscape. The Dungeonscape one, I think maybe a little bit better, but I think this is quite a nice book. So I think this is really good for like a young game master, because you could sort of, again, that was sort of a lot of part of the selections of these things. And they're not sort of edition cast him, so we have the 3.5 stuff. We have the AD&D stuff. I mean, I have some 5th edition stuff. I don't have any 4th edition books, but I do have some 5th edition. I think I got like 3 or 4. I think we have 4 5th edition books. I think it's okay, but, I'm not really a giant fan of the Wizards for a lot of reasons. So, it comes down to last. So, again, to the idea of campaign settings, it was such a fantastic thing with TSR in the 2nd edition era. There was campaign setting after campaign setting, all these ideas, right? So, it gave you more of an idea of what you could really do with the toolbox to make your own worlds. Or if you didn't want to, if you just wanted to buy in on a campaign setting, get yourself, the box set or whatever, and maybe 3 or 4 other books. That was really all you needed to give you some just extra depth and extra flavor beyond the core box set. So we got this one. You want to tell them what this is?
Yeah, it's the Dark Sun core book, I believe.
Yeah, and of course, there's art by Braun. And you can see this. This is the box set. And they reprinted. This came off Drive Thru RPG. And I mean, it's really well bound, and it's color. It has all this different stuff in there. And I thought that'd be very nice. It's like post-apocalyptic Bronze Age with mutant sonic abilities and strange races. They got the Thrycren. Their elves are weird. Their dwarves are weird. They have moles. What I understand initially, the creators didn't want to put elves and dwarves in the game, or halflings, but they were just like told, no, you're going to do this. You will use a races, so they made them a little bit different. And so we don't have this. It has monsters in here. We don't have anything for Greyhawk. We don't have anything for Mystara. We don't have anything for Dragonlance or Spelljammer. So, this is kind of opening the door a little bit for them. And this is the only Dark Sun book now that we have, I think. So, if it's something you end up liking, hopefully I'll dig through it and read it. I read there's a great channel. It's called Rats Inn or something like that. But you can just look at. They have, I guess, Audible did recordings, like real good recordings of Dark Sun books, and they just have them out there on the YouTube channel. They have a lot of different D&D books up there, but the first 5, well, I don't know, there's a whole series that's 5. It is like the Mull. Jeez, what was his name? Not Rykar. But whatever. It has like a scientist in it, and it was a neat series. I just listened while I'm at work. I'm out doing stuff, and it was they were very enjoyable. They were well written for Dungeons & Dragons books. They were interesting for Dungeons & Dragons books. A lot of Dungeons & Dragons books. Even when I was in high school, I was like, they would, as somebody with went for to get a degree in English as a published writer and these sort of things. They were hard to trudge through just to kind of get the information. But these were fun. I mean, they were I didn't technically read them. I guess listening to them. They were very enjoyable. I liked the writing. I liked at least some of the characters, and the setting was very interesting. And I think it helped illuminate that. It was different, and it was cool. So those of you that haven't checked that out might be interested in that. And I've never run Dark Sun. I played in a Ravenloft game that took place in a Dark Sun Ravenloft domain. My buddy Travis, who gosh, I haven't seen him in a long time, over a decade, I guess. He's well out of state, but he ran that game. He ran a bunch of games I played in, and yeah. So that is that was his haul for Christmas, and I got him. I don't know where it is. A electric scooter, like it's fast. This. Yeah, like he can get on it, and I got on it. The thing is, I'm like 230, 6'1", and I got on it. It was no problem. I just zipped around the neighborhood and, made sure I understood how to use it. I could see how fast it was, made sure it was safe, made sure, if I had done anything that somebody put together wrong, that it wasn't him that got hurt. So, but after that, I handed it over to him. And how'd you like it?
Oh, it was pretty fun.
Yeah. So, so that's the Christmas for 2021, and just kind of showing you guys sort of an RPG book haul, just different ways, really sort of the whole collection, going and digging around in the old books sections of game stores, multiple game stores, going on eBay and hunting around to find decent prices, and sort of putting together a list of books that I thought would be good for him or that I would know he would want, and then sort of prioritizing, like something like Frostburn. I was like, okay, if I get it for a decent price for that book, we'll pick it up. But then other things like the Complete Paladin's Handbook, I was like, well, we're definitely going to get that one. I looked into finding a whole lot that was like 5 of them for, I think I paid like $60 for a lot of 5 of them, which is a really good price because those books are going mostly around like $20 each. Sometimes a little higher than that, a little bit lower depending on which book it is. Some of them much higher, but it had some pretty good titles, and it was like the Paladins, Fighters, Thieves, Bards, and something else was in there. Maybe the Sinus book was in there too, and all of those collectively for the amount I paid, it made it was somewhere around $60. I think it is hard to remember, but and then going to Drive-Thru RPG and picking up some things. But Drive-Thru RPG is really weird in their price structure on these old D&D books. Some of them are insanely good deals, like they're cheaper than the books initially were, and some of them are a little bit on the higher side. They don't seem to be as uniform as you think that would be, and I'm not sure why that is, but definitely something worth digging into and poking around on. Anyway, I've always been your main man, now and forever. Get your $40 to February 1st. Hit me up, eBay, WW80 at yahoo.com. Get your Within the Ring of Fire PDFs shipped right away to you. Just put Within the Ring of Fire in it. Shoot me the loot. And make sure you got the email address you want them sent to. If it's not the email address they come from, the payment comes from, make sure you just put that in there too. So, it gets sent to you so you can get a hold of those PDFs. You're going to love it. You're going to love digging into that. You're going to love getting burned by the flames of creation, of creativity. And that's something that's definitely going to be on my to-run list very soon here as well. So, as always, Barbarian Horde, I am your main man. This is the Bearded Tree Gremlin, and you guys have a wonderful and prosperous new year, and hopefully your Christmas was gooder than a mug.